This is JoJo Siwa today, and I'm gonna be talking to you about influencers. What the hell? What got over me and I gave myself this hairstyle? I don't know. Hello, this is Kristen, and we're gonna talk about influencers today. I feel like I've talked about this multiple times. I feel like maybe I haven't. But in general, I'm just very chill today. I'm in a very chill mood. I'm not here to rant. I'm not here to make anyone watching this video angry. I'm just here to sit and talk and share my thoughts about stuff. And I don't know, influencing is just something that I feel like I've not said as much as I want to say, or I feel like I've said different things here and there in different videos, but there's not like a condensed version of my thoughts about this in one place. So this is what this is gonna be. Yeah, I want to talk about influencers. I want to talk about my comrades. Is that the word you use for someone that kind of does the same profession as you? I think not. I've just been watching way too much of HBO's Chernobyl, and yeah, I don't think comrades is the word, but anyways, you know, the person that does the same profession as you. And co-workers, there you go. Okay, so do I consider myself an influencer? Yes, in the same way that I consider myself a woman. You know, it's not something that I chose, it's just something that kind of happened. You know, I didn't seek out to become an influencer. It's just what comes with the territory of garnering a large audience of people that kind of you influence. You know, it's out of your control that you influence them, and in a lot of ways it's out of the audience's control to get influenced. And I'm not only an influencer, but I'm also a viewer and an audience of many other influencers. I gotta remember to breathe when I'm doing this. Oh, also, before I get into it, I want you to let me know in the comments if you want me to kind of post maybe on the what is it called? The podcast app on iTunes or on SoundCloud. Is there like any place other than YouTube that you'd like me to post the audio file of this, so perhaps that you can listen to this type of videos when you're on the go or something like that? Because yeah, I don't know what you as my audience prefer using, so I'm asking you so I can know where to put this stuff if you want me to, or should I just keep doing the YouTube thing and not bother? Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments if you can. That would be really helpful. So I'm going to talk about the good stuff first. Oh, first we gotta establish, what does it mean to be an influencer? In my opinion, you don't need to call yourself an influencer to be one. I think that as long as you have a big audience, a big number of people that are being influenced by you, you're an influencer. So a singer is an influencer, an actor is an influencer. Anyone that is a public figure that has people that follow them, that look up to them, they're an influencer. And that's something, you know, a lot of people really hate that word, and they're like, no, I'm not an influencer, I'm an artist. But like, if you have people following you on social media, I'm sorry, but you're an influencer as well. Whether you like it or not, you're influencing people. Sorry. So yeah, I think that everyone with a big audience, or just with an audience in general, is an influencer. I mean, even in my opinion, even a teacher is an influencer. You know, from the moment that you are taking someone, and whether you're doing it on purpose or by accident, you're molding them into something else, either through information or through character development, education, anything, you are an influencer. And I'm a little bit disappointed that just people don't take this as seriously as they should. I think a few people are just very patronizing towards this, but I mean, yeah, even if you're a comedian, you're still an influencer. So making jokes about it and saying like, oh, that's, I don't know, that was my attempt at trying to come up with a joke making fun of influencers. I can't right now. It's too hot, guys. It's way too hot. It's way too hot. What am I doing with this? I'm just trying to not get demonetized because I would love to be just wearing my bra in this podcast, but I gotta also earn my bread. You know what I'm saying? My gluten-free bread, because I can't do gluten. But yeah, I don't want to get demonetized, but also I don't want to get an anaphylactic shock from the heat. My God, it's bad. It's really bad. Is this better? Okay. Yeah, so whether we joke about it or not, this is some serious stuff. We are influencing people here, and so many are not taking this job seriously. I was, so Fashion Revolution, Ursula De Castro from Fashion Revolution, she was here in Athens like half a year ago, something like that, a little less. And I went to a workshop she was doing, or more like, it was more like a talk. And then afterwards, we all sat in a circle and talked about ourselves. And when I mentioned that I am a YouTuber, they were all like, do you know how much influence you have on people? And I was like, yes, I do. And I take it very seriously. They're like, good, you should take it very seriously. But like, they weren't, that's not something that I considered rude. I think I'm glad that they were concerned about that. Every influencer should be concerned about taking that seriously, the influence that they have. And when I'm saying any influencer, I mean any singer, artist, comedian, anyone that has a platform where they are molding people. You know, I'm not just talking about anyone that posts pictures on Instagram and has a YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. My poor voice. It was not ready for this monologue. But yeah. So first, I want to get into the good side of this, because there is a good side. Of course, there is a good side, actually, with being an influencer. And the good parts of this is that you can actually influence people to become better, either through self-improvement, through just support, personal development, like a lot of just kind of lifestyle. I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say floozy, but like fluffy, fruity lifestyle channels, where it's just about like waking up with my boyfriend, look at my cute dog, and look at me going to the gym, and look at me eating a fruit salad, like that type of videos. Even those have a purpose for existing. I think just anyone that is sharing their life online, if they know like just a little bit of something and they're sharing it with their audience, they're helping their audience grow. And the more mature someone is, the more stuff that they have to share, the more their audience gains from that. And even if it is just a fluffy YouTube channel, every person has something to share with someone else. I personally, I feel like I have been raised by the internet. I feel like the internet has shaped me into the person I am. And mainly that's been done through influencers, through being able to observe other people's behavior that I look up to and kind of identify with it and learn how to harness it within myself so that I can be more of that type of person. And yeah, I think that's great. I also think that, influencers are also people that are creating educational content online, and they are definitely giving a lot of information to people. Whether that's correct information or not, that's a completely different topic, but there's a lot of education that we can all receive online. And then there's the entertainment aspect, which, that's kind of like, from my perspective, it's a little bit more gray, because I feel like we're getting an overload of entertainment these days, to the point where maybe I'll talk about that later, because I don't want to talk about the negatives yet. But we do get entertained, and that's great when we want to feel better, when we want to fill our time with something fun, if we want to feel good, if we don't want to be bored. I personally hate being bored, and I like sometimes filling that time with entertainment, and especially like when I'm sick. All I want to do is just get the most mind-numbing entertainment possible in front of my face. When I'm not feeling good, when I'm sick and down, I'm like, I just want something that's just gonna nurture my spirit to feel a little bit better, and that is just garbage usually, like the lowest of the lows. Like when I was sick with pneumonia, I downloaded the Kim Kardashian app. I can't remember what it's called. Is it something like Famous or whatever? And that got me through my pneumonia. Oh, that's terrible to say, but it really did. I wanted something that was just like, that didn't make me think, that didn't make me feel. I just wanted something to just help me cope with my reality that my lungs were drowning me alive. And that's something that's great with entertainment. It can help us when we're hurting, or just bored. And then the other thing that I've never seen mentioned is the fact that as influencers and online people or artists or just anything within this realm is actually contributing to less job competition for everyone else. So a lot of influencers get told, like, just go get a real job. And it's like, really? You want me to enter this super competitive job market out there so that you have less opportunities? Are you sure you really want that to happen? So yeah, and as, we progress into the future, there's going to be even less jobs. Mark my words down for that. There's going to be less and less jobs available as the machines start taking them. Oh my God, this is starting to sound like a Joe Rogan podcast. Or what's his name? Not Joe Rogan. Who's that crazy guy that thinks they're making the frogs gay? Anyways, but I do believe that there's going to be a lot less job opportunities as we go into a future where technology starts being able to do more and more human jobs. And the last job that I think technology is going to be able to take over is being an artist, being an online personality, because that's exactly it. A machine doesn't have a personality. It can be programmed to have somewhat of a personality, and it can be programmed to like look good in pictures, but people are online seeking real connections with real people. So it's going to take a really long time before artificial intelligence takes these jobs. So yeah, that's a great thing. Like if you're working as a regular job, whatever that is, you have less competition because more and more people are getting into media and entertainment and the arts. And yeah, they're freeing up space for that. And I do think that as we move into the future, there's going to be more and more influencers and more artists. And, we are also ourselves getting more and more interested in that as well, because we're spending more and more time online. So yeah, those are the good stuff. I guess I should talk about myself now. This is the segment of my podcasts where I dive deep into my vanity and just talk about myself. But I started fashion blogging in 2009. That was when I had first finished high school and before I started college, and it was bad. My fashion blog was bad. And anyways, I'm not going to get into the details about it because it's that bad. But sorry. Okay. So basically, I started all of this because I was just into fashion and I wanted to share my outfits online and and just see where it goes. Obviously, I was completely unaware about the fast fashion industry back then. Not only that, I was just like a puppet of the fast fashion industry here in Greece. They were like, H&M would give me 20 euro gift cards, and I would like tag them in all my outfits that I was wearing them, and just show them to my audience for free, like advertise them for free, because they invited me to their, what was it called? Their not workshop, what is it called? Their like studio kind of place where only the press could go and show us like their new collection before it launches on the shop. And I wasn't paid for any of that, and I was dumb enough to advertise them for free because I didn't know any better. And also Zara bought 2 pictures from my blog to print them on t-shirts. Like, yeah, I was deep in the fast fashion promotion, guys. It was not good. And receiving stuff as well from, stuff that, being completely unaware where those items were being produced and by who, under what conditions, that kind of thing. And the quality also, just so bad. When I was fashion blogging, I was just receiving a lot of free clothes, but they were not good. They were not the best quality, not the best aesthetically. Yeah. And I took a break from fashion blogging. I mean, I didn't have a huge audience when I was doing that. I feel like, what did I have? I can't remember. I think I had 1,000 followers on my blog. Was it 1,000 or 10,000? I think it was 1,000. I think it was really low. Anyways, and then I started YouTube actually while I was still doing the blogging thing. I had made a few videos. I was a little bit interested in YouTube, but not really pursuing it. And then after I took a break and worked in Dubai as a flight attendant, I really couldn't do anything else at that time because I was so busy. But when I came back to Greece, I started again, and I didn't yet really know about fast fashion still. I was just I had just gotten into veganism. So that was my beginning into all of this, really. My introduction into ethical consumption was through my food. And basically what happened was I saw this documentary, The True Cost. First I had seen the docu-series Sweatshop, and that's when I really started getting into ethical consumerism and being a lot more aware of the impact that I had on other people by promoting things that I did not agree with morally, where they came from and how they were made and the impact that they had on people and the environment and animals. But until that point, until I saw those documentaries, I was still promoting Zara and H&M and ASOS and everything, all the garbage brands. I was promoting them all on my YouTube channel, and I wasn't doing it because I was a bad person. And that's why I kind of avoid pointing fingers at specific people. for, you know, being bad influencers. I was just doing it because I had my channel for fun at that point. It was very small, like again, 1,000 subscribers or something like that. Just a few videos up on my channel. And I was just doing it for fun and to see just where it would go. Not even to see where it would go, honestly, just because I felt like it. Felt like making a few videos. And then once I got more educated about all of this stuff and the impact that influencing has on hyper-consumerism, looking at all these haul videos where they're just pushing just so much junk to their audience and normalizing this behavior of going to a store and spending $100 on like 20 things that don't look good on you and don't fit well, and like when you wash them they shrink and the quality is terrible. You only wear it once, and if you wear it, you know, because half of that stuff they would blatantly say it in their video that I don't think I'm gonna wear this, or like this doesn't look good on me, or that kind of thing. But they just bought things to buy them. Am I getting demonetized by YouTube right now? Let's fix this. Okay. And yeah, so that's when I started taking YouTube a lot more seriously. I was like, oh, this is what's happening in the fashion industry. I already knew what was happening in the animal industry, but I started getting into just what is happening in industries in general. And I was like, I want to start pushing a different point of view to people, because I don't see anyone online right now really promoting ethical fashion and vegan fashion also, because I was doing the whole vegan fashion thing without really being aware of the brands that I was supporting. I was like promoting H&M and Zara and all these fast fashion brands just because they had vegan options. So I realized that veganism is like just a beginning for me. It's not the alpha and omega of morality. There's so much that goes into it. This is, my diet is just a tiny part of it. And I got really passionate about sharing this online and sharing what I'm learning online. And that's how I kind of really built my channel, because it's not like I opened my channel and was like, I want to share this with the world. I already had a few videos on. I was already, since 2009, I was doing the whole blogging and social media thing. It was something that I liked. But I really got passionate about it when I had more of a purpose behind it, when I had something bigger than just showing off my outfits, when I had like this passion that nobody else, I wasn't seeing anyone else online sharing ethical outfits, showing how you can dress more consciously and eco-friendly and all that online. So I'm getting a little bit of ASMR from this microphone. Is it too close to my face? So yeah, that's when I really got into it and started growing my audience and growing online and all that kind of stuff. That's when my journey started. I need to stop using that word. Anyways, I am running out of lemon juice. Okay. So I wanted to get a little bit into also what we gain as influencers from doing this. And one thing is, I think like satisfaction of vanity is definitely a thing, like trying to, I guess, show off in a way and compete with everyone else that is doing it and try to be the best at it, like try to be the prettiest, the most stylish, the skinniest. That's at least for me in this whole realm of fashion blogging and that kind of thing. And I do think that a lot of people get into it and stay into it because it gives you an ego boost. It gives you like, you're constantly receiving messages and comments about how pretty you are and how awesome your style is, and like, oh, your fit is sick, sis. I sounded like a robot when I said that, like I'm programmed to say something that's hip right now that people say. I've fooled you all. I'm actually an AI program. We are a generation of people that have grown up with our parents looking at a TV. So in order for us to feel like we are valuable, we kind of feel this need that we need to insert ourselves into that TV to feel like we have become important, since our parents were putting all their attention on TVs instead of on us. That's an interesting theory, and I kind of agree with it. And I think that that's maybe a reason why there's just such a huge number of people that just crave fame, as if it's something that, you know, it makes you better than everyone else. If you're recognized in the street and you get people messaging you and telling you how much they love you, people really crave that. And I don't think it comes from a bad or evil place. It just comes from a place where you don't really, you're in a place in your life where you don't have what you really need. You do not have, or you weren't raised with the attention that you really craved. And then you end up craving it when you're an adult from everyone. And so I do think a lot of people get into this. They get into any type of fame just because they're going to use their talents and their skills to get to fame, instead of fame being what lets them show off their talents. Their talents are a medium for them to get to fame. And and then once they get there, it's not really used for anything else other than making money, which is a previous podcast that we've talked about, so I'm not going to get into that. And then another problem with the whole influencer situation is the fact that all this entertainment leads to the numbness that I talked about before. Like I said, I was playing the Kim Kardashian game to feel better when I was sick. But the thing is, we're not sick with pneumonia all the time. But a lot of us are mentally really sick, with depression, anxiety. And I mean, that's a whole other video. But we're using media and entertainment, social media, YouTube, and YouTubers to kind of fill this numbness that we feel. Not to fill this numbness, to make us feel better from our sickness. And that just leads to this kind of emotional numbness where we're all just zombies with screens in front of our face, completely unaware of the world we're in. And that's scary. That really scares me, because this is the reason why things have gotten to the point that they've gotten. No, that's not correct. They've gotten to the point that they got. I don't know. Anyways, we're in deep shit right now politically, globally. And one of the reasons is because we've all numbed ourselves so much to the point where just a huge majority of the youth is just not taking action to defend themselves, even though we're one of the generations, I think, that is going to live less than their parents, that's earning less than their parents, that just has so many less rights than our parents have had. And we're just oblivious to it because we just have a funny comedian in front of our faces 24/7 whenever we feel blue, and whenever we realize the situation that we're in, we just stick a band-aid in front of our face and watch it in order to feel better. But that's it's kind of like an addiction. It's kind of like alcoholism. You feel bad because you have real problems, and then you drink to feel better. But drinking doesn't get rid of the problems. It just makes you temporarily feel better until your kidney fails. And this is kind of what entertainment is a little bit leading to. It's this alcoholic drink that we're drinking to forget about the reality that is very disturbing that we're in right now, that we actually have to get together and start fixing it and not numbing ourselves to this reality. Whew, that got really deep. Okay, that got way too deep. And then the other thing is hyperconsumerism, which is very much promoted, especially by this specific type of influencer, which is just the influencer, you know, not an artist, not a comedian, not anything. They're just an influencer, and that is that. They are here to show you pretty pictures or videos of themselves and push products to you and become a human billboard. Basically, I've used that expression before. I'm just repeating myself. But and I think like more and more people, I'm so excited that more and more people are just becoming aware of this, and they're very much against it, and they're vocalizing their opinions to these influencers. They're like, why are you promoting fast fashion brands? Why are you doing another haul video? Do we really need this? Do you want to maybe educate yourself about the fast fashion industry? And I mean, the audience is becoming a lot more aware than the content creator, whose job is supposedly to advertise a lifestyle. Like, that's what Instagrammers do. That's what lifestyle YouTubers do. They're advertising a lifestyle. So shouldn't you really be ahead of everyone else and be promoting the lifestyle that people are going to be following tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, not promoting a lifestyle that people were following 10 years ago? Like, we're no longer living in a world where it's okay to mindlessly and endlessly consume. Like, our planet cannot take any more of that, and our ecosystem can't take any more of that. So I'm very happy that the audience, there's a much bigger number of people watching that are aware of this than content creators and influencers that are aware of this. And the audiences, I feel like y'all are doing a great job with nicely talking about these issues to YouTubers that are not YouTubers, influencers that are just completely unaware of this. Yeah, and that kind of like, I don't know, that a little bit frustrates me. Like I said, your job is to promote a lifestyle. Your job is to be ahead of everyone else. So why are you in the 1980s, man? Nobody consumes like that. Nobody lives like that anymore. Nobody can afford to live like that anymore. Anyways, I'm getting so hot. This is too much heat. Too much. And yeah, so hyperconsumerism. What else? I think I covered all of it. So obviously, now I want to talk about solutions, because I do not like to ever discuss anything that doesn't have a solution. There's a lot of topics that I could be discussing, but if I can't think of a solution, then I'm not going to bring it up to you guys, because there's nothing more despairing than listening to problems and then not being offered a solution to that problem. At least for me, I just can't deal with that. So let's talk about solutions. From the side of influencers, obviously, get more educated about your profession. Like, when you hire someone to do your plumbing, you expect them to have certain knowledge about the job that they're gonna do. You know, when you go to a restaurant and you order food, you expect that the person that's gonna make that food for you has some culinary education. You know, they didn't just randomly wake up one day and said, okay, I'm gonna take a piece of toast and I'm gonna put a lettuce between it and I'm a chef now. You know? So influencers, it's shocking to me how uneducated they are about their own profession. Like, if you are, and now I'm talking about specifically influencers, like the influencer, the person that is just doing lifestyle stuff, you know, fashion, beauty, makeup, blah, 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 blah. So I'm always so shook at how uneducated so many of my coworkers are about what they're promoting and what they're making money out of. Like, if your job is to just, if fashion is your main focus, why the hell are you not educated about the fashion industry? You're not really doing you're doing an extremely big disservice to your audience by not, studying a little bit whatever it is you're pushing to them. So if fashion is your main focus, why are you not educated about how clothing is prepared, under what conditions, what the impact is to the environment? Why are you only focusing on the trends? Why is that the only thing that you believe is important for your audience to know? If your focus is fashion, you should be focusing on the entirety of fashion, or at least educating yourself on it. Because if you're not, that's just, in my opinion, some really irresponsible behavior and really unprofessional behavior as well. And then as influencers as well. Another thing, this is something that I didn't discuss that is really important. A lot of influencers get told to just, do, how did I want to frame this? This is kind of irrelevant to everything that I'm saying, but they do get told, get a real job, stop influencing and get a real job, which, I think that if you're an influencer, you have a great set of skills to actually do other things in the job market other than, being an influencer and making money out of advertising probably unethical brands to your audience that you are completely unaware of their business practices, whether their products are good or not. Most influencers, they're just going to promote anything, to be honest. And that's such a huge disservice to your audience. It's really disrespectful to your audience to just push anything to them and without really being educated about what you're pushing to them and that kind of thing. The whole get a real job thing, I kind of agree with it. If you're going to make a living out of promoting brands that you just have no clue what they stand for to your audience, maybe you need to choose a different career path. I'm getting really mean now. No, but I think it varies depending on the influencer. But for me, for example, I've gotten occasionally been told to get a real job. If you're not not happy with how much you're earning or that kind of thing, just get a real job, which for me here in Greece, that's not really an option because Greek people make minimum wage here is 3 euros an hour. People with degrees make less money than people with no degrees. In general, quitting YouTube for me and getting a real job would mean living in poverty, really, that because of the way things are financially here in Greece. But I do think for a lot of other influencers, that's not the case. Getting a real job would actually mean earning more, or still it could mean earning less, but still earning a fair living wage and having still a great lifestyle. Yet they would choose to continue doing a job where the income that they earn comes from manipulating your audience into buying products that you just don't know anything about other than what that product looks like. And oh my God, I'm spilling too much tea right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's the little something that I wanted to add to all of this. But let's get into the solutions for you, the audience, me as well, because I'm an audience, and what I've learned from all of this. And it's really, like I said, I feel like I've been raised by the internet. Everything that I know, most of the 90% of the things that I know, I learned it once I got introduced to the internet. Sorry, school, but I actually, I remember very few stuff from my education at school. I mean, I remember how to count, I remember how to read, but other than that, I really don't remember anything. And most of the things that I've learned that is actually information that got stored in my brain and stayed there is things that I started learning on my own when I started seeking my own education, and just trying to learn everything that I am interested in, any question that I have, anything that I wanted to explore and kind of expand my knowledge on. It's available for us on the internet, and I've loved getting to just learn things online, and that's something that because I need to frame this in a correct way. But yeah, when I first started using the internet, it wasn't like this. I used it just like any average normal person does, just to kind of and watch some entertainment on YouTube, which was at the time, when was that? Maybe 2012, something like that. But I would use the internet to look at fashion blogs, style blogs, fashion websites, and then on YouTube it was all just, again, fashion accounts. Jen M was the first one that I found. I would watch Zoella. That's the kind of content that I consumed before really getting introduced to conscious consumerism. And once I did get introduced to veganism, that to me was, I think that was just such a, I don't know how to say it. It's just such an important point in my life, because it pivoted my direction on the internet towards a path that I wouldn't have otherwise taken. And getting to explore and learn more about veganism led me to learn about more documentaries, which led me to look into different types of documentaries, not only about veganism, but about ethical fashion. And that led me to discovering channels online that were a lot more educational. And channels online, and in general, I got a lot more interested in education online and learning things, not just being entertained online. And I started discovering just a myriad of other YouTube channels completely irrelevant to veganism, irrelevant to ethical fashion, just educational content up the wazoo. and I have been loving it since then. And I slowly started realizing that, I don't need to be following these inspirational, aspirational Instagram fashion accounts anymore. I don't need to be looking at these models to kind of inspire me to eat less and look hotter. These are huge air quotes around that. I don't need to look at these fashion accounts. I don't need their inspiration with their fast fashion outfits, as pretty as their pictures are. I'm not interested in this anymore. I'm going down a tangent that I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, on YouTube as well, I don't care anymore about the Zoellas and just the fluffy, pointless content. Sorry, Zoella, no offense, but I don't care about the content that isn't feeding my mind anymore. I want podcasts, and I want just deep conversations and listening to other people's deep conversations online, and interviews with people that are educated about a 1,000 different topics. And that's the rabbit hole that I kind of went down that made me the person that I am today, and gave me just so much knowledge that I would otherwise not have. I wouldn't be able to meet all these people, all these scholars and PhD professors and like just all these super educated people, I wouldn't be able to meet them in real life. The television would definitely not, project them. Why am I talking like this? The television would not show these people. There's like no way that I would have had access to all these thousands of brains, thousands of human brains, if I didn't have the internet. And so yeah, I absolutely love the internet because I have created a world that is feeding me emotionally and mentally and all that kind of stuff without numbing me. Of course, I want the numbness once in a while, and I want the gossip, and I want the drama, and I live for the drama online. But it's also very important that I manage to to also introduce myself to content that is genuinely good for me. And that's the thing, like, you don't automatically start using the internet and get all that good stuff. You have to start digging, and that's a little bit what the problem here is, that if you don't know what to dig for, you're never going to get introduced to it until someone, for me, it was like, I know this is controversial and I'm not happy to say it myself, but it was Freely's videos where she made the kind of trashy content that I was watching. She created it, but also in that content, she inserted something that in me planted a seed and a curiosity for veganism that led me down all of, I'm getting excited, but that led me down all of this that now I believe in, and that have built me into a much, much better person than I used to be. And yeah, it just getting out of this trap of just mind-numbing entertainment requires someone that also makes mind-numbing entertainment to kind of insert themselves in your news feed, in your recommended page, that also has something a little bit more to add in there. And yeah, so that's why sharing is important, okay? This is where this all was leading to. Share my videos. No, but yeah, it actually is important. Sorry for screaming, but share as much as you can content that you see online that is more than just mind-numbing entertainment, because so many people are just stuck at that wall and they haven't gotten to just this vast garden of knowledge and power and empowerment and blah blah blah. I've been talking for way too long, and I'm just sounding like a crazy hippie. So yeah, I'm also getting dehydrated from sweating so much. I can't take it anymore. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, this video is sponsored by myself and my Etsy store. So if you want to get influenced by me right now and dress like a fashionable grandma, I have a vintage store and you can check it out. I have the link in the description box below. And yeah, the shopping from my Etsy store also supports this channel. So check it out. And if you're into vintage grandma clothes, you might like something in there. See, this is the type of advertisement, people that are studying advertisement, they're going to show this to their class and they're going to be like, this is how you don't sell anything. This is how you do not promote products. This is how you make people not buy anything from you. But honestly, this is a whole other video. I'm not going to get into it. But this was fun sitting down and talking to you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And share this video. I don't know. It's a bit too long. It's not. My podcasts are not shareable content. But share my short videos if you want to, if you ever feel like it. I very much appreciate it when you do. Huge thank you to my patrons for supporting this channel. And I will see you guys soon. Bye. Bye! Oh my god, I'm sorry. Why did I do that? What kind of demon possessed me? I'm dehydrated, guys. I can't think anymore.